I spent the last decade getting paid a good amount of money to make things look professional. But lately, I've been starting to know what professional really means. Over the last couple of years, I've seen the industry shift through the rise of retention editing. Now, this could be anything from Mr. Beast averaging a cut every 2 seconds to beautiful and cinematic intros like something Herman Hoang would do. The truth is, retention editing kind of sucks. It's loud, over-edited, and often is trying to bridge a gap caused by a lack of depth in content. Hey, I'm Connor, owner of Apostle Studios, and I'm a full-time video editor and videographer. And I've spent the last few months scared to make this video, because even though I hate retention editing, it seems to feel unavoidable. Like it's the industry standard nowadays. So if you hate retention editing as much as I do, I have 3 editing pillars for you that will help you edit professional videos without selling your soul to the algorithm gods. The first pillar is narrative depth. Basically, as editors, we shouldn't be polishing turds. And look, I know what you're thinking, especially if you're a freelancer like me. Bro, I don't write the scripts, I don't pick the topics, I just cut the footage. And that may be true, but as the editor, you are the last line of defense for the story. You have a seat at the table, even if you aren't holding the camera. You have the power and the responsibility to tell a creator when a point isn't landing, when a segment feels like filler or if they're just rambling. Now, if you have a healthy working relationship with this person, you can probably tell them that, and they will hopefully hear you. But for some reason, if you can't tell them, show them. So on your next edit for them, do a normal V1. But before exporting, duplicate the project and work on a slimmer version. Cut out the filler, unnecessary sections that don't add any depth. By the end, it'll probably be quite a bit shorter, and it will likely flow far better than that bloated version. And hopefully your boss or client or whoever will feel that better flow as well. Now, substance is the only thing that builds a long-term audience. Retention editing might keep someone watching for 10 minutes, but narrative depth is what brings them back for 10 years. Good editing starts with protecting the message, not just the watch time. Now, the second pillar is supportive editing. Basically, stop trying to be the main character of the video. As editors, we get this itch. We want to justify a rate. We think if we don't throw in a speed ramp or a custom animation every 30 seconds, the client is going to think we're lazy or worse, unnecessary. But here's the reality. Most of the time, if a viewer stops and thinks, whoa, that's a cool transition, you've failed. You just pulled them out of the story to look at your plans. Supportive editing means every cut, every keyframe, and every sound effect has a job description. That being said, flashy editing absolutely has its place. Just look at Herman Hoang like I mentioned earlier. Dude's actually insane. So have fun and limit test yourself. Just make sure it's supportive and fits the vibe of the content. Keep the main thing the main thing. Now here's how you actually audit this on your own timeline. Pick one section of your video where you're feeling particularly fancy. Whether it's the intro or cinematic B-roll sequence, whatever it is. Look at each element of it and ask, what are you doing here? If its only job is to look cool or keep your tension up because the script is lagging, delete it. Go back to the A-roll and see if you can make it flow a little bit better. Now, on the other hand, if its job is to emphasize a specific keyword, shift the mood of a story, or help emphasize the main thing, keep it. And your goal isn't to be noticed, it's to be the invisible force that makes the creator look like a professional. Think of the edit like a film score. When it's working perfectly, you don't hear it, you just feel the emotion of it. As editors, we aren't here to show off our vast library of assets. We're here to facilitate the transfer of information from the creator to the viewer. That is the invisible art of editing. The third pillar is probably the hardest to swallow. It's about losing your ego. Basically, if you're editing to impress, you're already losing. I remember this one project. I had recently splurged on some new plugins and was stoked to start using them. On the next video for one of my long-term retainer clients, I spent probably 3 times longer than I usually did on the intro sequence. It had custom sound design, better transitions, a really good flow to it. It was really good. I even showed my wife and she was hyping me up. So when I finished the edit, I was stoked to send it off to the client. I sent over the V1 and sat there literally waiting for the "dude, amazing work" message. You know what he sent back? Colors are a bit too orange, don't you think? In the whole revision, he didn't even mention the intro, not a word. It honestly stung pretty bad, because my worth as an editor was tied to being noticed. I was putting my identity into the retention and visuals of the edit instead of the objective. I was trying to prove I was a professional by being fancy, but the client didn't need fancy, they needed clarity. When you stop trying to be the smartest person in the timeline, your work actually starts to scale. You stop overthinking, you stop over-editing, and you start solving problems. But look, all the narrative depth and supportive editing in the world doesn't matter if you're still drowning in a mess of files for 20 minutes trying to find that one B-roll clip. So check out this video where I'll show the most unsexy, boring, and absolutely vital part of efficient editing.